Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, let's start this show. Let's light this candle, all those fun things that people say. And we'll start it up. The Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100 and get $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. BET. Now play it. Play that theme song for about 8 seconds, and I get right into the Bottom Line Bombs. All right. Hello and welcome to week, what are we at, 14 now for crying out loud? Week 14? No, we're 13. 14, I believe. 14, 15, 16, 17, 14. Is a nice start. Week 14 of the NFL Bottom Line Bombs. I'm CJ Sullivan, your host, also giving out picks for the contest. Each week here, I give out picks with bits, 5 each week, and a lot of bits for the Circa contest. Welcome for people watching on YouTube, live streaming it, or if you're just listening to it, that's great too. Why am I starting off like this? I don't know what happened. Anyway, I'm here. I'm excited if you are here on YouTube because I fixed the comments where I can see it. I don't have to come around the TV. Oh, the producer did, Ryan Kramer. I should give credit to him after he left me in the box. I am the man in the box. I'll give you 5 new picks this week and a man in the box segment at the end. That was another cough. I coughed a lot last week. I was told I needed tea. I was told I needed honey. I was told I needed a lot of things. Not the Starbucks, but that's part of the program now. Like I said, 5 picks each week. It's been a bloodbath so far. I'm done with Houston Texans, that's for sure. Gave them out again. Again, it was the right side, but I don't care. They outscored Cleveland 14-8 on offense, getting 7.5. You think that'd be good? Nope. They weren't even close to covering. They gave a punt return for a touchdown, a fumble for a touchdown from 1 yard out when the guy was Houston was trying to quarterback sneak to so they wouldn't get a safety, and he fumbles it for a touchdown. Then a screen pass pick, whatever. Lovie Smith is so funny. It's so funny how he's the coach. They're getting 17.5 this week versus Dallas. I kind of like him, but I won't give him out. Lovie Smith is so bad. I think the NFL made Houston. They had to have made Houston hire Lovie Smith as a defense for the Brian Flores lawsuit. That's the only logical defense. Brian Flores was the coach of the Dolphins last year. He's now suing the league for discrimination, which I'm sure he's right. It's the NFL. They're very racist. But so I think the NFL knows that, hey, we're probably very guilty of this. What can we do? What last ditch effort can we do? Let's hire the worst black coach we can think of and make him not make him remain the coach of the year. So they pulled out Lovie Smith from, where was he? Was he in Illinois? Who knows where he was? I mean, he was doing terrible in Illinois. Here, and go coach the worst. Go put on the worst coaching job of all time. That way, there's no defense how we're discriminatory because you are the worst and you're still the coach. Usually every week, like, well, any given Sunday, they're NFL players too. They get paid to play too. I don't think they do. I don't think the professional football players in Houston. This team is insanely terrible. And Lovey makes it worse. All right, I gotta stop talking about these. It was a bloodbath. It was another awful week last week. I almost want to apologize, but I also don't because it's part of the process. It's an art. Okay. The bits and the picks are the art. Welcome, commentators. Eric Acosta says you're understanding the importance of having a coach whose name we've never heard before. I know. And I love when owners is like, who's the guy I've heard of? I've seen him before. He was in Super Bowl. He's got a beard. Get him out there. We are on a Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I say that because if you follow them, I think they like attacking corporate gambling, and just like an not independent, smaller company. And this is where I realize this is where I belong. I like reading other people's stuff. Though I was reading The Athletic. There's a guy named Austin Mock. He's got a model. You know, a lot of people have these computer models, whatever, for picks. And he had a bad week last week. And the comments these people these idiots put on there, I would be fired day one. I don't know how this guy tolerate. Like, he puts up with it nice, like, yeah, I probably shouldn't quit after going 0-3, but okay. Like, you're fucking, it's enough. Your computers are better than some street tout in Vegas on the street. What are you talking? The street tout? I would try to kill every one of these people that commented on my thing to remind me I don't need to be reminded of losing picks. I get it. Okay. I don't even like being corrected when you're right. Like last week, I messed up Mike McCarthy and Matt McCarthy, and commenter Chicago Kevin O. Shout out to him. Told me that Matt McCarthy's. I still don't know. Matt McCarthy's the comic. Mike McCarthy's the coach. Yeah, even though you're right, fuck you for correcting me. It's a good way to be. Get ultra defensive. Anyway, but the point is, it was a bloodbath. Bad couple of weeks. We almost got the quarterly booby prize. So the circuit contest, there's the year-long thing, year-long standings. And if you can follow me online, CJ Bombs, the picks that I give out, we're not going to win that. All right. No one's going to win that. I mean, somebody eventually will win, but they're hitting like 78%. They also give out for last place. They call the booby prize, but they do it for every quarter as well. And now we're coming up in the last. We almost had the booby prize for the last quarter, but then we blew it Thanksgiving weekend by having a winning weekend. And because that was when I knew I was supposed to give out losers. So anyway, we're focused in. We're locked in. The final quarter starts this weekend. So it's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's 5 weeks for the final quarter. And it's big money. It's like $125,000 for if you win that quarter. So we got to ship out a 5-0 week this week, and I think we're going to. I'm locked in. We're not going to panic like the Titans firing their general manager because AJ Brown embarrassed them. That was amazing. What the fuck are you doing, Tennessee? They fired their general manager after week 13. They're winning their division. They're going to play. Yeah, okay. You had a bad game versus Philly, who happens to be the best team in football. And AJ Brown, you traded him. He demanded a trade. I love this revisionist history of AJ. Like the Titans just hated AJ Brown. No, he demanded a trade. Well, they weren't going to pay him, and it turns out that's what you do. You don't pay these guys, and you find someone to replace him. Now AJ Brown's such revisionist history. I wanted to retire at Titan. No, you didn't. You wanted to retire. You wanted to retire with $100 million, and that's where you had to go. You didn't care where it was. But breakups are messy, and you got to pick a side, and I pick AJ Brown's side. So they fired their general manager. That's hilarious. The owner. Who traded him? We did. Yeah, but who actually made the phone call? Well, you told me to do it. Now you're fired. I can't have people laughing at me. So anyway, we're not going to panic like the Titans. I still can't believe they fired a general manager because AJ Brown scored 2 touchdowns. Yeah, we're locked in. I'm locked in for this week. You know what happened to me yesterday? I went to Ralph's, which is a grocery store out here in Los Angeles, California. And I go to the worst Ralph's of all of them, the rock and roll Ralph's on Sunset. The parking situation, there's the downstairs parking, which is a mess. It's like it's just traffic everywhere. It's like an N1 mixtape. It's chaos. People are running in and out, jumping on cars. Then there's upstairs. It's nice and peaceful up there. No one parks up there. You go park, but there's the elevator. It's just a 1-floor elevator. So I go to the elevator, and there's a woman there and some other guy. And she lets the elevator shut in my face, and they go down to go down to the house. She saw me in the face. One of those clothes like, hey, can you hold the door? And they just stare at you. They fake like they're going for the button, kind of. I don't know what's going on. And then she lets it. That was a bold move on her part because it's not like we're in some office building going up 30 floors. We're going down one floor to a grocery store. So I'm going to be, and which I did, stalking you for the next hour now. Now my shopping list is out the window. My whole mission now is to find you and make it awkward. I'm going down aisles I've never been in. I'm in the fucking spice aisle. Soups. I'm acting like I'm shopping for soups. Why? Because she was. I just wanted to know. Yeah, I'm the guy. You couldn't have held the door? Where did you think you were going? We're all in this together now. So that's how we are here. That's how we are here, week 14. It was like I said, we're past last week. You know, I was a bad week last week. All the favorites hit, which never happens. And that's when that's when the public wins. The one favorite I gave out tied Washington. Hilarious. How did they not go to a penalty kicks or something? Washington and Giants. Like one favorite ties. Unbelievable. I did have the Bengals, so I'll give myself credit for that. My one fucking win. Anyway, all right. Let me do a quick ad read here. And then we'll go into 5 bottom line bombs now for the new week here. Week 14. We're going to start this quarter locked in, and then we'll do a man in the box segment at the end. And that's it. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. And around, make your comments in there. To engage, you're supposed to ask questions like, who do you like this week? But I like when we read jokes, especially when you have the talented listeners like I have, like you guys. Eric Costa, especially, he ghostwrites half this show anyway. Usually, I usually just take his lines. I'll give him credit. Anyway, are you ready to win money and boost your odds? WynnBET is now live in a bunch of states that I mentioned before: Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Tennessee, New York, and Virginia. They're bringing the excitement of Wynn Las Vegas to online sports betting and casinos. Exclusive rewards are right at your fingertips. Win rewards on WynnBET. Looking to get involved in a same game parlay, and who isn't, right? Who isn't posting their same game parlays on Twitter? And that's not annoying at all. WynnBET's your home for the WynnBET. Build your own betting. Lets you customize your bet you want to make. There's so much to choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamingpodcast.com/WynnBET so they know we sent you. At sportsgamingpodcast.com/WynnBET, WYNBT. Claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBET.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state when play through WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, but that doesn't apply to any of you guys. Don't worry about that. It doesn't apply to anyone who's listening to the Sports Gambling Podcast Network or the Bottom Line Bomb Show weekly pick on us. You don't have a gambling problem. Someone you might know, though, someone who doesn't listen to this show might have a gambling problem because they don't want losing picks with hilarious bits. Anyway, call 1-800-522-4700. That's very, very important that you do that. You know, it's funny. It is kind of hilarious how, as gambling getting more legal across the country, and now there's more jobs, and it's just infiltrating all the, the major sports and shows, and they know there's a problem going to happen. I mean, the way they're jamming, like just shoving it to kids and college kids who are highly addictive, and they're going to be, they're all going to get soaked. It's what's going to happen. I was listening to Dan Patrick's show recently, like this week, and they do an ad read. He tries to soften it up. How like they'll still take the money for their whatever fucking site they're doing, and but we have a soft out where you can put yourself in timeout and sign up for your give me a couple weeks off so I won't gamble this week if I have a problem. Like they're trying, like they're the good guys with the gambling thing. Yeah, that usually works for addicts. Excuse me, Mr. Drug Dealer. I know I know you like money, and I give it to you for an addiction that I have that you provide. But I think it's maybe not the best thing for me. So go ahead and block my number for a bit. Oh, this is great. Now I'm getting spam spam comments. That's probably not great. Girls in your cities. Free girls in your city. Good God. Hot singles in your area. At my age, I'm more interested in hot Pringles in my area. You know what I mean? That's a coffee shop. That's an old tweet. Andy Richter liked that tweet. All right, let me get off the addict and gambling thing and get into the bottom line bombs. That's great. Eric Acosta wants to know, is there an over-under on shots of Baker Mayfield on the sideline tonight? That's if you're listening live now Thursday, you're probably hearing this on Friday. The Rams played the Raiders. That is funny. Rams playing the Raiders. We're going to get into Carolina later on, who just released Baker Mayfield. Now the Rams only signed him. They said that he might play tonight. What? I can see, if you're a running back or somewhere, you don't need to know plays, but I'm pretty sure the quarterback needs to know plays, all the plays. And Sean McVay, doesn't he have? I mean, I thought Sean McVay had a complicated offense. That was his whole thing. That's how much I think the Rams want to lose tonight. If you want to, I'll give out a side play. Go ahead and play the Raiders tonight. The Rams are like, fuck. Yeah, put them out there. Who cares? It'll be hilarious. The Rams are now in full-on hilarious mode. I can't wait to see Baker Mayfield tonight. As Kevin O said, he's a commercial actor anyway. Baker Mayfield's a commercial actor. He's not a quarterback, so he'll do fine out here in Los Angeles. But welcome to the auditions now, Baker. Now you're just any one of us grinding. Ready to be scumbag number 2? It's me, scumbag number 2. Scumbagger Vance coming at you, the man in the box. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. First, bottom line bomb. Man, Jesus Christ, I'm wasting time. But it's fun. Let's see what the clock says. Yeah, all right. Let's go with the Battle of Ohio. Cincinnati, Cleveland, and the line is 5.5. Cincinnati's favored by 5.5. Deshaun Watson last week versus Cleveland looked awful. For Cleveland, looked versus Houston. We gave out Houston, he looked terrible. Beyond Rusty, he just looked bad. And it's funny because that game was such a disappointment, the Houston-Cleveland game, because we thought the 10 victims are there. I said, make them the honorary captains. Texan fans are really going to boom. Then they interviewed these Texan fans, and yeah, they were upset at Deshaun Watson, but they were just upset at him for demanding a trade. They barely even knew about it. They knew about the allegations, but they didn't care. When he wanted to demand a trade and get him quit on us, that's what enough of him. And then the allegations. Well, sure. Yeah, that's not good either. And I guess there might be some truth to it. I mean, there was 35 of them. And Browns fans, they don't care about the allegations, but they just care that he plays bad. It's so funny how maybe this is a strategy Watson is doing to play so bad to have these fans forget all about the allegations and get more upset about how bad he is than with the 35 or 62 sexual assaults, whatever New York Times said it was. So it's not the worst strategy for Deshaun Watson. Side note, when I watched the game, I went to a bar last week to watch the Eagles game. I go, and next to me was a Browns fan. He was full on Browns gear, and he had his dog with him in a Browns jersey. He's a nice guy. He's kind of a douche. The dog was fine. Boston Terrier. He had the pants, the socks, Browns, the whole thing. Then he puts the dog on a stool, but then he switched stools because it wasn't comfortable enough. Got one grabbed the stool from the bar with a back so he could put that on it, which is very LA. People are having to stand, so there's fucking dog. And I go, what's your dog's name? Kozar? I think it's going to be some kind of Browns name. No, Crimson. What? Oh, did you go to Alabama? No. Why? Why would you ask that? Okay. What the fuck is going on? That's Los Angeles sports for you. Metcalf something? I don't know. Kevin Mack? Mack would have been a great name for a dog. Crimson. Anyway. So they play the Bengals. Battle of Ohio. Like I said, it seems like the Bengals and Browns play each other 8 times during the year. This is officially only the second time they've played, but I'm pretty sure they played during the week as well. and just in separate towns in Ohio. Like that's how they travel to each other's place. Like last time they played, they had to play each other 3 times. Like Akron on Wednesday and Columbus on Thursday. Then eventually they went to Cleveland on the Monday night game, which the Browns won. So this is a revenge game. Eventually it'll be in Cincinnati, but Tuesday, I think they played in Toledo. Thursday in Dayton. There's so many fucking towns in Ohio, cities in Ohio. There's like 55 different cities. Ohio's huge. And they all used to be relevant. They love telling you how relevant they used to be. Now they're all just run down. Yeah, no one comes here anymore. Everyone left and moved. We are poor and desperate. They're America. I mean, they represent America. I don't make fun of any of these cities because they are America. Like when people used to love making fun of Detroit, always cracked me up. Like Detroit's this rundown city. Yeah, it is, but it's also you're next. I mean, this is what our future is. Anyway, so this will be the 6th time I think they're playing Cleveland, Cincinnati, just not in these towns. So they're in Dayton, they're in Toledo. I did shows in Dayton. It's where the Wright brothers are from, and they did all their stuff there. And yet their airport is not named after the Wright brothers. What do you have to do to get an airport named after you? They literally invented flight. Well, a little complicated. Not a good handle for it. Although a lot of people claim the Wright brothers, you know, they're all over the place. Like Jimi Hendrix is, I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, all the cities just run down now. Now it's like some Chinese plant. But they love telling you how they used to be. Well, in the 50s. Those are cold, miserable places. That's why they have to do these turns. And the Football Hall of Fame's in Ohio. Canton, horrible town. All these Ohio. This is the places that decides who our president's going to be every 4 years. It's pretty great. And all their cops are ex-linebacker, state troopers. Anyway, let's get into it. So, Bengals have to win this for Ohio. They're on a roll. The Browns, Deshaun Watson is he's just so funny. It's funny about the Browns. The only thing that was going decent for the Browns all year was Jacoby Brissett, but that's not fun. Jacoby Brissett's not fun. Watching Deshaun Watson fail, that's fun. That's part of his sentence. He's not allowed to throw a touchdown until next year. That'd be pretty great. So let's go to Toledo, Cincinnati. What other fucking towns in Ohio? There's so many of them. Awful. But I'll be going back out there, I guess, to Columbus. I don't want to get into College Football Hall of Fame. College Football Hall of Fame. That's in South Bend. That was in South Bend, actually, and then like someone else just took it from them. I like those unofficial Hall of Fames. Like, we can make a Hall of Fame, like the Negro League Baseball Hall of Fame. There's like 4 of those. There's one in Kansas City. There's one in Alabama. I'm like, yeah, nothing's really official. We can have one. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Nothing says rock and roll like Cleveland. I don't even. Into those bits. John Mulaney has the best rock and roll Hall of Fame bit. If you want to look up that one. But anyway, let's give it out. Cincinnati Bengals -5.5. I don't want to talk about Ohio anymore. Detonate it. Yes. That was fun. All right, what are we looking at the clock here? Next game is Detroit, Minnesota. We'll stick in the Midwest. This is a weird line. Detroit is favored by 2.5 over Minnesota. Minnesota is 10-2, and they're underdogs at Detroit. Started off Minnesota -3, and it switched all the way over to this. And I get it. There's just something not right about the Vikings. We don't know what it is. They look the part. They're 10-2. They got a great record. They got good players too. We know they're a fraud, but they're not your standard fraud. Like they're just getting pure luck. Although they are lucky, they actually practice luck. That's what we don't like about these Vikings. Something's just not right about them. And then you ask them, and they're like, well, we keep winning, which is fine. You keep winning, which they do, but they win via luck. But then they act like they practice luck. Like, yeah, we just want good fortune. We when they're at practice, we stuff their lockers with old winter coats with $20 bills in it. Make sure you get some good fortune. We have them sidestep puddles just for practice. We cut off rabbit's feet from Flint, Michigan. Was that Roger and Me, that Michael Moore documentary, the first documentary, was really good when they're in Flint, Michigan, and that woman was just fucking skinning rabbits. That was awesome. Yeah, I'll cut off this foot. And that did not scream good luck. That woman fucking shedding rabbits and boiling them. But that's what these Vikings are doing. The Minnesota, Minneapolis, Michigan. Is everything in the Midwest begin with an M too? Michigan, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Wisconsin, Illinois. No, in my eyes, everything begins with an M. So these Vikings, yeah. So they're frauds. And we're making the line. We're even making the Lions favored over. But we just don't know what's wrong with them. Like we said, they have good players. Justin Jefferson, Delvin Cook. Their defense isn't good, but that's fine. No one's defense is good in the NFL. I actually like you more if you don't. Teams with good defenses are usually terrible. Like Denver. Denver has a great defense. They're the fucking worst fucking team. So having a bad defense isn't bad. It's like a college basketball team that can shoot their free throws. That means you can't do actual athletic things. Last thing you want is a team that can shoot free throws. So yeah, something's just not right. And it's Kirk Cousins. That's what it is. We just don't like Kirk Cousins. We don't like the looks of him. He doesn't seem real. He seems like an alien. Like if an alien wanted to impersonate what our quarterback was, like this Christian, he says like, that whole you like that shit. Like he's just weird. Something's not right. It's kind of like that haunted house. Like, why is this house so cheap? $80,000. It's on the hill, sure. And you move in the first night and the walls are bleeding. Oh, okay. All right. Let's get the hell out of here. And that's what's happened with these Vikings. And it's what's so funny is that they keep winning and they don't care who it is. They'll beat the best team in football, the Bills, on pure luck. And then they'll beat the, Washington the same way, pure luck. Like they're just, they play luck down to their opponents, which the way I'm talking, I probably should take them, but it's got to fall apart eventually. The luck, there's because why? No one gets lucky in Detroit. That's my analysis there. The luck runs out in Detroit. You go to those casinos, Detroit, Michigan casinos are brutal. Absolutely brutal. Speaking of luck, they do not want you to win. You can't argue your way out of anything. Doesn't matter. All right, let me get out of this. So we're gonna give out a second bottom line bomb. Detroit -2.5 versus those frauds. Minnesota detonate it. I don't know how they won. Last week. I had the Jets. They just keep doing Minnesota things. Anyway. All right, let's get on to I'm supposed to do another break. Oh, we're out of ad reads, though. I'll do my own personal ad read. How about that? I'll read some comments and I'll do some plugging. If you have a gambling problem, follow CJ Sullivan on Instagram at CJ Sullivan was taken with a bunch of underscores. Listen to my other podcasts as well, Blackout Diaries with Sean Flannery, the drinking storytelling podcast. Very funny. True drinking stories from comedians and non-comedians alike. This week we have Crystal the Pistol. She tells a hilarious story about breaking a toilet at the Burrito Palace in Chicago. Late night food. It's a late night food episode. Everyone loves a late night food episode. What are some of your favorite late night foods? We break down the Diner Grill in Chicago. Legendary. Anyway, that's my ad breaks. Let's get into it. Kirk Cameron cousin, says Eric Acosta. Yeah, that's Kirk. What's funny? Kirk Cameron, of course, Growing Pains, teen heartthrob, crazy ass Christian though. Like Acosta you on the streets, if you will, Eric Acosta. with propaganda and literature and just you're going to burn in hell if you don't serve Jesus, that kind of Christian. And that's what Cousins is too. And you don't like it. They have that smile. They're handsome, but there's just something really weird behind those eyes. I have bodies buried. I wear sweaters. Anyway, a sweater with the collar showing. Those guys are fucking crazy. We don't, not cool. Anyway, I gotta get off Kirk Cousins, and he's actually playing really bad. He is actually the reason. If you look at his advanced numbers, which I don't, but I've been told that's what it is. Anyway, let's get on to the next game. I gave out Detroit -2.5, Cincinnati 5.5. Now we're gonna go. We gotta take a dog. This is my only dog. This is so bad to me. I can just see why it's bad. Last week all the favorites covered. I gave out all dogs except for Washington. So this week all the dogs are covered. I'm giving out pretty much all favorites except for my one dog, and this is it right here. Miami versus the Chargers. Miami is favored by 3.5. It's at night. It's in LA. 3.5. That's why I like it. I like getting 3.5. We're going to take the Chargers. It's a buy low. We're buying low on the Chargers, although we're kind of selling low on Miami as well. That's why it's only difference. The Chargers every year. The Chargers do this shit. Like, what are they? They're so confusing. Well, not confusing. I mean, they're consistent. They're consistently absolute mad. They're just maddening. They had a chance to get back in the playoffs, and they were terrible last week versus the Raiders. They were lucky to lose that game by 7. Anyway, but now they're at home. It's Tua versus Justin Herbert. That's the new hot sports take, dumb sports radio argument. Now they love doing Tua versus Herbert because they're both drafted in the same class, top 10, whatever. And initially it was Miami should take Herbert because Herbert's a better quarterback. And Herbert's only a better quarterback than Tua if you watched the games they play every Sunday. If you watch them play football, you're sure, oh, yeah, Justin Herbert's better. But if you want to do a hot take sports thing, then you can say Tua's better because they win games or it's ridiculous. So they make up things. So they want to make up things of why Herbert's not better. I mean, Herbert's better than in every facet of the game he does. His arm, all the talents, blah, blah, blah. He's not, they want to turn him into Jeff George, who was extremely talented, but he wouldn't win games until he got to a team that was good, and they won with Minnesota. Jeff George, by the way, they kept shipping him to different teams. What did he do? What did he possibly do? Like, he's a terrible locker room guy. What could he possibly be doing in a locker room where they didn't want his arm? He'd throw 70-yard laser beams. Just do old fucking juvenile pranks. Like, we just can't take these hot feats anymore. Anyway, Justin Herbert, clearly better than Tua. But that doesn't mean the Chargers are going to win, obviously. But idiots like to think the better quarterback's going to win, like they're starting pitchers. Trent Dilfer's better than Dan Marino because he won a Super Bowl. The take this week was Justin Herbert's just a social media quarterback. That's what someone on Fox Sports said or something. What? The fuck does that mean? like he's posting his own clips. Justin Herbert just goes in the backyard and then, makes amazing throws and edits it up on GarageBand or InShot. It just posts fake, like, dude, perfect shot videos. What are you talking about? He's a social media quarterback. You mean he plays football in the NFL and then social media takes highlights from what he does because they're good plays and it goes viral because people like talented plays? Yeah, you don't see Tua doing any of those things that stand out on social media. Towel snaps, says Chase Bentley. Towel snaps is what Jeff George did. Yeah, the fucking shenanigans. 8th grade pranks. We just got to get you out of here, Jeff George. Towel snaps is a homoerotic prank, right? For sure. Deal with the boys in the locker room. All those movies, the locker room, just so many towels. That's what I was always jealous of. Towels around the waist and the hair, snapping, just towels. Love a good towel. Tua, yeah, there's something about Tua. And I have nothing against him personally. He seems like a good guy. And I kind of feel bad where he was like Well, not bad that he admitted that he was doubting himself. Everyone doubts himself, I guess, except for psychopaths. I love that imposter syndrome. If you don't have imposter syndrome, you're a fucking sociopath. Why would you think you deserve any of this? Anyway, that might be more about me. But Tua's passes, they just repulse me. Just looking at it repulses me. I don't know if it's the left hand thing. Someone said it's like he's throwing a waterlogged Nerf football or something, like a fucking just a medicine ball. He puts all of his effort in for it to go 30 yards. I hate it. And he has the best receivers of all time. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle running around, taking a 5-yard slant, 90 yards. Oh, that Tua is amazing. I just can't even look physically even repulsive. It really, I don't know what it is. It's like a tomato for me. I hate tomatoes. I just don't like the texture of it. I'm weird. I don't mind sauce and ketchup. People eating tomato, like when people eat tomatoes like an apple, I'll call animal control on you. That's disgusting. What are you doing? There's wet seeds sliding around. Someone doing it in Chicago. People that eat fucking fruit and shit on a train, like it's all pornographic. Oh, they just what are you doing? Throw a net around that person. Someone put a fucking dart gun in this. Eating tomatoes. You belong in a zoo. That's what Tua is. Tua is a tomato for me. So they're playing in the Chargers at the Chargers at night. Miami rules, says Arthur with Wicks. You know they're a very surprising team. I like, and their coach is funny. He looks like the rapper Logic, McDaniels. Mike Berger, Marcus Triggs, shout out to him. He's a Dolphins fan. He said the genius of the Miami Dolphins logo and their helmet, I don't know if they've changed it, is that it's infinite. Because the helmet, the logo of the Dolphins is an actual dolphin wearing a Miami Dolphins helmet. So inside that helmet is another Miami Dolphin wearing another helmet, and it goes on and on and on to infinity. So that's fun and absolutely ridiculous. They kind of change it. Then they'll change the Dolphin to wear a throwback helmet, like he's an old CTE Dolphin, a leather helmet Dolphin. Put some tune on that one. So they're a little weird. So they've been out. They played Dolphinity. So it is to Dolphinity and beyond. They're going to feel like they've been in Dolphinity as they're in California. They played San Francisco last week. They lost. Tough game. And then they did a classic thing like, yeah, we're just going to stay out in California. Maybe take the coast down, take a nice drive. It sounds like a good idea. It's a beautiful drive. Best drive in the country, probably. Pacific Coast Highway, whatever it is. Take that down, all the way down. Wine country. Stop in Bakersfield. Shout out to Bakersfield. I just did a show there. That's Trump country, but they're good people. They treated us well. Now they're down in Los Angeles. Now it's going a little long. Their vacation in California. Now you're going to realize, yeah, maybe we need to get home. Now you're seeing Tent City in LA. You're stepping over homeless people. My buddy Adam Burke was out here, and he wanted to go to In-N-Out. That's his thing. People want to go to In-N-Out when they come out here, and he's like, "What's the animal?" I'm going to explain. It's stuff we got to explain how to order things. Make sure you get the fries well done, or you're going to hate them. Blah blah blah. Animal style. We were walking towards an In-N-Out burger, and I'm trying to explain animal style to him. He goes, "What's animal style?" And the God's blessed us. We looked down. Right to our right was a homeless guy jerking off in a sleeping bag ferociously. Right next to us, as we I literally had to step over it. Timing couldn't have been more perfect. I go, that's animal style right there. But bump, mic drop, great laugh. Anyway, he'll be a guest, not Adam Burke, that homeless guy. So the Dolphins are going to find out what animal style is by hanging. They've been hanging out in California way too long. It's going to be time to get home. We're going to take the Chargers plus 3.5, detonate it. Also, I don't want to hear your In-N-Out is overrated takes on here either. I don't care. Everything's overrated. Anytime you're going to talk about a burger place, it's going to be overrated. Burgers are always just burgers. So, yeah, they're all good. They're all bad. Whatever. In-N-Out. You know why people don't like In-N-Out? Because the line is long. The line is like it's always like 20 minutes. The cars are around the corner like Field of Dreams. But they do it now. They do. They run a good assembly line. They know what they're doing. I used to hate lines for anything. Like I'm not waiting in line for anything. What is this, Russia? I'm not going to wait in line for bread. It's America. There's so many options. Now, as I get older, I like lines. It's something to do. Speaking of burgers being overrated, we went across to Santa Monica, which is across town, like way across town, 40 minutes for a premiere of a burger. It was this burger place. Huge line, and we were excited. Yes, this will take up our entire fucking night. This is great. It's something to do. I got to the front of the line. I went to the back again before even ordering. I wanted to break another 45 minutes off. That's the definition of LA. I'll drive across town for a premiere of a burger, but I won't go 15 minutes for a friend's like one-man show or something. Any show. I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not going. Are you fucking crazy? Oh, there's a new brick and mortar burger place from the old pop-up. Where is it? Santa Clarita? I'll go. Speaking of Eric Costa. And then speaking of California, we're going to move on to the next game, which is San Francisco versus Tampa Bay, another high-profile San Francisco 49er game. This is a fun one. This is Brock Purdy versus Tom Brady. And that's how they're billing this one. And Brock Purdy is favored by 3.5. This goes back to the Tua versus Herbert thing. It's not quarterback versus quarterback. It's the teams. And Tampa Bay is awful. The only reason why this line is only 3.5, it's 3.5 is because Tom Brady had another miracle, absolute miracle Monday night win. And that's Tom Brady. It's so inevitable. Yeah, well, he had 3 points before 5 minutes to go. Is that Tom Brady too? I think that's more Tom Brady. And then Dennis Allen and Mark Ingram. Everyone makes fun of Mark Ingram for running out of bounds, which was bad. He ran out of bounds with a yard short. But then to punish him, I think, the Saints coach, Dennis Allen, he throws like a slant pass on a 4, and then he punts the ball. What are you doing? I just wanted to make sure everyone saw that Ingram went a yard short. So I should have punted right there. Should have punted on 3rd and 1 at that point. I mean, Raheem, who's the fucking Tampa Bay coach? Todd Bowles. Oh, Todd Bowles. He could join the Lovie Smith NFL defensive lawsuits too. He can't believe they won it. He was trying to lose. He was punting the ball. He was punting the ball with like 6 minutes to go, down 2 touchdowns. What are you doing? I don't know. Maybe they'll punt it back to us. That was their strategy. Punt it to them. Maybe they'll punt it back. And they did. Amazing. So now we got Tom Brady versus Brock Purdy because Jimmy G got hurt for the Niners. So they have Mr. Irrelevant, Iowa State rookie Brock Purdy, a quarterback who didn't look bad last week. Which is funny because so you have 2 different stories of this with Brock Purdy. They're trying to hype him up in the reports, like, talk to his teammates at Iowa State. They said they would die for him. What? Yeah, they're 19. All college idiot players will die for their quarterback because they're so excited to be young in college. He's not that. He's Mr. Whatever, but he's fine. He's an NFL fucking player. He was a good quarterback at Ohio State. He's good. He's not great. But Jimmy G wasn't great. Most times when a quarterback gets hurt and the backup comes in, NFL coaches freak out. They act like this person got this job through like a theme writing contest or something. Like he's an NFL quarterback. Why let him throw the ball? Like, no way. Just hand the ball off. Don't fuck this up. Like they're terrified when a backup quarterback comes in. Like he's a quarterback. He's played football his whole life in that position. Well, like how did he get the job? Did he win a raffle? They're like, oh God, not him. Why is he on the roster? He's my girlfriend's son. I told him we'd give him a job, and now he's our quarterback. We're fucked. So that's why when backup quarterbacks come in, they're usually so much worse because the coaches don't let them play. Give him a shot. But with San Francisco, on the other hand, It's different because they actually hated their starting quarterback, ownership and coaches. The players don't. But the coaches hated Jimmy G. They tried to get rid of him. Then they kept him just out of spite, just so he'd have revenge games against himself. And so then they didn't want him to look good. He hasn't looked great all year, but he's won games because the Niners are good. And now that he's hurt, like finally, let's get out the real playbook. And then Purdy gets the real playbook and he throws for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So now I think this is the only time where a backup quarterback is going to help San Francisco because finally the coaches are on board. Well, normally we don't do this, but here's the real plays, Brock. We gave Jimmy G the fake throw interceptions plays. So I mean, this line being 3.5 is hilarious. Just let's open up the playbook real quick. Some comments. The Bucs win games the same way Average Joe's Gym won dodgeball. Nothing but disqualifications and comedy. I like a good dodgeball reference. That's from Erica Costa. Ken Barnard says Girlfriend's Son is a great fantasy football team name. Girlfriend's Son. Also, Creedence Clearwater Revival song, if I recall. It's a good T-shirt, at least. Speaking of which, where's Ryan Ridley? He's exactly where we need him. Not here, giving comments about fucking independent movies. Yeah, it's amazing. I can't believe how the Bucs win that game. I like a good disqualification win is great. Hold on, hold everything. Anytime there's a scene in a movie where they're opening up a rule playbook, the actual book here, you'll see right here. Nothing says a dog can't dunk a basketball. So we're gonna go with Brock Purdy. That's a fucking weird name too, Purdy. He must have gotten shit for that, but apparently they love him, and coaching management does. San Francisco minus 3.5 against the horrendous Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ooh. Before we get to that, let's do a quick drink from not sponsored Starbucks since Ken Barnard joined us. I'll recap in a second here. It was Cincinnati minus 5.5, Detroit 2.5, Chargers plus 3.5, Niners minus 3.5. And now we're going to Seattle, Carolina, the last game in Seattle, home of Starbucks. Ken Barnard said that when I said I'm going live, he said, he made fun of me because I'm always late and he waits for iced Starbucks coffee to be delivered to me, which I know it's not professional. And I do have it's my ritual now. I'll give you a little inside baseball, but the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, where I record here live. I got my Prism Sports shirt. By the way, for YouTube, Prism Sports for any Philly. Shout out. Prism was the Philly HBO growing up. Didn't really have the HBO movies, but it also had Phillies, Flyers, and Sixers. So real Philly parents would get you that channel. But also had Emmanuel at night. So I was saucy as a kid. Emmanuel in space. What was it? Oh yeah, Starbucks is across the street, and that parking lot, you're not allowed to park there, but you can park there all day. They're not gonna. There's one security guy. He's not there to ticket you that. He's there to make sure no one breaks in your car. So I go in there, and that's the ritual. I get the Starbucks, and I leave the car there. I learned that the hard way when I got a parking ticket by not parking at Starbucks lot. So now I drink this iced coffee like a woman. Like I said, I'm new to the Starbucks game as well. Got coffee late in my life. Got Starbucks late in my life. And I guess I was in denial with some of those drinks. Like I was drinking the seasonal one is the ice sugar almond milk latte thing. I get whatever's on the post because I don't know what the order is either. But whatever's on the poster, I'll point at that. Whatever that new flavor thing is, let me try. And they're all great. So I started drinking those and getting addicted to those. And I told you last week they made a mistake. Gave me one hot, one iced. I kept them both, drank them both. That was a mistake. And it says like 150 calories. I'm like, I better look up the other nutritional value. 27 grams of sugar. A pop. I'm knocking out 56 grams of sugar. That's not good. So I'm off that. I had to stop. Dear Lord. And I knew deep down that it wasn't going to be good for me. I just didn't want to look. Even as an adult. Yeah, just don't look it up. It can't be bad for you if you don't know. Just doing ignorance. And that's what I'm doing with Seattle. Just being ignorant. They're the king of Starbucks, right? I was just up in Seattle. I was up in Tacoma, Seattle Airport. Tacoma did comedy up in Tacoma. Shout out to those guys. Yeah, they take their Starbucks seriously. And there was a Sub Pop. Speaking of Chase Bentley out there on my band, and a lot of band guys out there. That was funny seeing Sub Pop in the airport. I'm sure that's what those guys envisioned. The famed record label that have Nirvana and all those guys in the airport. People are buying $50 Sub Pop t-shirts. That's pretty cool. That's what alternative's all about. Grunge. Nothing like marketing grunge in the airport and Starbucks. Someone wanted to laugh. Starbucks went corporate. Oh, did they? Did they go corporate? Yeah, they run the world. Anyway, so they're at home playing Carolina. The home field advantage for Seattle, the 12th man. That's the thing. You go up there, you see their practice bubble, and it's just 12 everywhere. 12, like they love that 12th man because their fan is so loud up there in Seattle. They believe that shit. If I was a ref, I'd flag them every play. You have 12 men on the field. Where? They're right here. Don't you hear them? It's like another man is on the field. You're the 12th man, which is misogynistic, by the way. You have some women up there. Yeah, but they're not as loud. Actually, they are loud. That'd be great if the ref flagged for 12 man. You guys want to call yourselves that? It's like the ownership in Green Bay where the fans, they own the team. Okay, well, buck up because we owe Aaron Rodgers $60 million. Everyone got their shareholders things. We're going to try to buy him out. So Seattle's at home versus Carolina. Carolina, I was fans of them with Steve Wilkes. Like I said, they're to lean on me. Steve Wilkes, he looks like Morgan Freeman. He's crazy Joe, turning that school around. Just fucking trading away players, kicking out kids. McCaffrey and not Billy Ray. What was the white guy's name? Kid Ray. And lean on me. Anyway. They're back up in Seattle. Soccer fans up there as well. When I was up there in Seattle, Jesus, they love soccer. Portland and all that Pacific North. The whole Pacific Northwest, it's beautiful up there. I'm not saying anything bad about Pacific Northwest. It's some of the most beautiful country that we have. It's gorgeous. The people, I don't know about the people, though. They think they have built this fucking utopia. Speaking right rudely. Yeah, they think they have their own like bubble, this utopia up there that don't belong to the rest of the country. And their whole soccer thing, it just seems fucking not fake. It's not fake. They definitely believe in this shit, whatever the hell it is. It's just very misguided. They wear scars. They get into it. So they're in a fervor now. The World Cup going on. They're the only ones still watching the World Cup. Once America got smoked by the Netherlands, we all bowed out, wiped our hands clean, like, whoo. Well, that was kind of embarrassing now I think about it, that we got into soccer like that. But all right, we'll come back again in 4 years, I guess. That was a great thing about the World Cup and the soccer. Like, it's fun, whatever. I'm not going to root against the country. We're going to support it. I hope they win. But as soon as they lose, no emotional ties whatsoever. That is done with. Good Lord. I said that about baseball. It's like you're having an affair. After you have an affair, you have that guilt, like, oh God, well, I have a family to go home to. What was I thinking? With soccer? I hope football doesn't find out. You're gonna be cool about this, right? Soccer, you're not gonna tell football I was watching you in the morning, right? I'm out in a bar at 6 a.m. What am I doing? I gotta get a hold of my life. But Seattle, they're still watching. They care what happens to Portugal and Morocco. I gave up on trying to figure out that offside rule. I watched the U.S. Netherlands, whatever. And the U.S. goal that they scored to make it 2-1, the guy, there's a picture. The guy's way off sides where the ball goes to him. And I took a picture of it. And I put it on Twitter. I'm like, I'm just never going to learn this offside rule. And I'm fine with it. That's actually the key to enjoying soccer. You just have to know you'll never understand the rule. And it's kind of liberating. But I put that picture up there, and of course, people wanted to try to explain it to me. They always do. But it changes. It's subjective. That's what's so funny about the soccer offside. It's subjective. I'm like, okay, this guy's offsides. I get it. The ball, you can't be past the defense, which whatever. There's just draw a line like hockey. Don't make it subjective. But okay, you don't want to do that. You want to do your fucking thing with you can't be past the defender with the ball. Okay, this guy's way past the defender. Why is this not offsides? Then I get to explain. Well, he wasn't relevant to the play. Relevance? What do you mean he's not relevant? He's going towards the net. He's the guy who wound up scoring the goal. Yeah, the ball didn't go to him, but the guy who went to passed it to him and he scored. Yeah, but he wasn't relevant at the time. Then he became relevant. Okay. Lord. I mean, I do enjoy that about soccer, how they make things up as they go on a world stage. So I have to give them credit for that. That's kind of funny. There was that Japan-Germany goal. Then did you see that? The ball was out of bounds. The ball was clearly out of bounds. And the Japan guy kicked it back in and they scored. They called it no goal. They reviewed it. The rules like experts like, yeah, that's clearly out of bounds. You can see the ball's out of bounds. And it was. But then they're like, yeah, you know what? Since the ball is a sphere, a ball, if you will, like the bottom of the ball was touching out of bounds, but the realm of what it would have been was actually inbounds. If you draw an imaginary line, the ball's inbound. What? It's a ball. There's a reason why if you're not kicking a square. So they just made that rule up and decided Germany's World Cup fate. Again, pretty funny. It's like they have something against Germany. What did Germany ever do to the world? Not to quote a Norm Macdonald hilarious joke. So yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, Seattle. Seattle's still watching the World Cup. And we'll watch a little bit of it, I guess, but not this weekend because they are hosting Carolina Panthers, Seattle, -3.5. We're going to detonate that final bomb. Bomb it. Okay. Here we are. Let's recap real quick the bottom line bombs for you for week 14 NFL circa contest picks. Oh man, we're getting late. Then we'll do a man in the box. Like we said, new quarter starts. The final quarter of the season, weeks 14 through 18, is its own separate thing. We're gonna lock in, like I was locked in at Ralph's when that fucking bitch didn't hold the elevator for me. An hour of not shopping at Ralph's, just trying to find this woman and make it awkward. Yeah, I want soups now. All right. 5 bottom line bomb. Cincinnati -5.5 in the Battle of Ohio's as they play the Browns for the 19th time this year. This one in Dayton or Toledo. Detroit -2.5 versus the fraud Vikings. Kirk Cameron Cousins, as Akasa said. LA Chargers +3.5 versus Miami. Tua the tomato. Too long in California. Welcome to the homeless scene. San Francisco -3.5 versus Tom Brady. Purdy versus Brady, and Seattle -3.5 versus Carolina. They say, yeah, I was just told an old saying, you don't get rich betting the NFL laying 3.5. But for some reason, I like those two lines. Those are way too short lines. It's funny with gambling and the NFL. I would rather be -4 than -3.5 for some reason. It's scarier to be being laying 3.5 than just 4. 4, you're like, whatever. When you're laying 4, you think they're going to win by a touchdown or not. When it's 3.5, like they're only going to win by you just know they're going to win by a field goal or lose by a field goal. All right, let's get into man in a box. Like I said, man in a box is a segment I'm supposed to be doing naturally, not just forcing it. I already talked about that grocery store elevator. That really upset me yesterday. It almost became a man in a box segment, but I opened up with it. But I want to talk about how I got fooled by a deli. You ever get fooled by a place? Delis are a dying art. Good deli sandwich. They don't exist anymore, especially the corporate one. The corporate ones came and took them over. But I don't know. I like a good deli. Those are my new dive bars. Now I stopped drinking. I used to love a good dive bar. I still do, but now I search delis like I search dive bars. There was one in Chicago I kind of liked. It was called New York Deli. There's a lot of keys to having a good deli. If you go in a deli and there's a kid playing chess or checkers or something like that, that's a good sign. I like that. That's a good sign for a deli. There's always got to be someone reading a paper by themselves, no, maybe a drink, but not even eating. Not a customer. You don't even know if they work there, but they're reading. They're reading a paper. That's a good sign for a deli. So I had to go to Burbank recently, back and forth for a couple times, and I kept passing by a deli. What's it called? Tom's Deli or something. It's called Tom's Deli. I don't want to put them on blast. I just did. Put them on blast. It had a cool sign, Tom's Deli. It had a little. I'm like, okay, this looks promising. Looked beat down a little bit, which I like. A little. I don't want it to be too clean. The sign, the name Tom's had the Italian flag in it, which is probably I should have took that as a bad sign, but I took it as a good sign because I wanted it to be good. That's the thing. When these delis are dying, you want them to be good. And there was no line. I know I talked about how I like lines, but not. I don't like lines for daytime for sure. Nighttime, give me all the lines because that takes care of my night. Daytime, I don't want a line. Like Pink's Hot Dog is very famous out here in Los Angeles and Hollywood. Lines around the block. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's ridiculous. Why would you wait in that line for a hot dog? Especially their hot dogs aren't even that great. They're sloppy. They're a mess. I mean, they're fine. But if I go by Pink's Hot Dogs and there's no line, I like sometimes I'll go in there because all right, well, there's no line. Just to take advantage of no line. I don't even want a hot dog. I'm currently eating a hot dog. But give me another Pink's Hot Dog. There's no line. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, no line for this Tom's Deli. So I go into this deli. They have a Tom's special, which I'm not too keen on. A lot of hot chickens, a lot of things that they shouldn't be prevalent with. They shouldn't give me choice. First of all, I don't want all these choices. I want you to tell me what I should be getting. This is what you're getting. That's a good deli too. You get this. You get this sandwich. But the kicker was, and this is why I have no respect for this place. Order the Tom's, but whatever you make good, Italian, Tom's, whatever. Do you want it toasted? What? Do I want it toasted? No. I have no respect for your deli if you offer to toast my sandwich. I should have walked right out of there. But I didn't. I got it to go. It was painfully mediocre. Piss poor mediocre. Well, but I should have known right there. They had a girl sitting at the table. I did like how they had a girl sitting at the table. She wasn't reading anything. She wasn't doing anything. She was just on her phone. But she definitely worked there, but she didn't want to work there. She was just family. And a brother, I don't know what they were. Every place in LA, it seems like a front. Every store, it seems like they don't have a license for what they do, or they have one license on the block and they all share it. Like if the feds are coming, here's for your salon. Here's for your fucking donut shop. There's 1,000 donut shops in LA too, and they're all like donuts / like jewelry or / like speakers. Like it's always something with something else. It's always they're the donut places have to be fronts. I don't understand how everyone can be so fucking skinny but they're eating donuts and burgers. But when you go in there to any one of these places, see, here's the thing with LA. They act like they have no idea how to run their own business. They act like they're like in the movies when a place gets held up, and they had the real owners tied up in the back. So then they keep running to register when new customers come in, so they don't, put any red flags that they just rob the place, so they start serving. That's what it's like. How much is this? What? I don't know. What's it say on there? Just give me $5, sure. But take it. I don't care. Just get out of here. We have to leave. That's what every real place in LA is like. Like the real owners are tied up in the back. But these guys are making up on their spot. That'd be a funny thing if it'd be a good sketch. People say that. Good web video. Guys rob a store, they tie up the owners, and they start running the register, and more customers keep coming in. So then they get stuck, and then they have to Then they get into it though. They really like running to the 7-Eleven or something. They make new changes. They turn into a good business. Oh God, shipments are coming in Tuesday. What am I? Can I ever get out of here? Anyway, so what was this about? Oh yeah, delis that offered a toaster sandwich. That was my man in the box segment. This is really good. Oh, I gotta cut it off. Then I brought the food back. That's the other thing. I was so upset about the toasted sandwich that I wanted to fucking. Oh man, did I not go to the box for this? Oh Jesus! I got so into it that I didn't even switch over to man in the box segment. That's why I bring the paper and the passion and the clipboards. God damn it. Deli sandwiches offered a toaster sandwich. Erica says these places are also in no way happy you came in. Right. They're always like, what? I mean, there's like, can I help you? Mainly, God. Can't you see we're having a day, we're existing? Like you just came into their home unannounced. So I got the food to go. I wasn't going to sit down and eat there once I offered the toast. I knew it was going to be bad. And then I have to do that shameful thing because I live in a building with a lot of tenants, a lot of Airbnbers. So there's a lot of good looking people coming in because they rent like for the month. Instagram influencer models and shit. And a lot of other just random people. I hate getting caught in the elevator with a bag of food. That's embarrassing. Then you're going up and they're staring at your food and they're doing a lot of judgments, which they should be. And you got to talk about the food. Chick-fil-A, huh? Yep. You don't care about their politics? No, I don't. Are they not one of the good billionaires? Chick-fil-A, is that it? They're against gay marriage? No shit. They're closed on Sundays. They already told you. They told you they're crazy. That's what I like about Chick-fil-A. At least they say they're crazy. I don't agree with their crazy politics, but they don't hide it. You tell me Colonel Sanders is for gay marriage? He's a fucking plantation owner, for Christ's sakes. He shot a guy. Chick-fil-A, their menu's the shape of a church. Yeah, they're lunatics. They're fucking good. It's good food, though. How much money they lose not being open on a Sunday? I remember one time there was they tried to like guerrilla interview style the CEO of Chick-fil-A and like try to get him to say something. But they don't care. They're not ashamed of it. That's what's fun. So you can't paint them into a corner. Like, is it true? You guys are against gay marriage? Like, yep, sure am. Why? You didn't know that? Huh. All right. Well, thanks for telling me. We'll have another press conference announcing it. We believe that gays shouldn't get married. You're gonna burn in hell. Who should get married is delicious chicken sandwiches and waffle fries with some coleslaw. Marry that. Marry those ketchups. Anyway. Good God. Yeah. So I was caught in the elevator with food. This thing is just dragging on. I gotta stop the show. Oh, you know what? I'll continue the man in the box elevator talk with my crazy neighbor Judy. That's a fun update. That's might be man in the box next week. So LA restaurants, delis, don't offer a toaster sandwich. That's an absolute red flag that you don't know what you're doing and you have the real owners tied up back. Anyway, check out me on Instagram. Good luck with all the games. There I go again. Wishing you the luck of the Vikings out there. And as you try to luck box your into another winning season. Yeah, that's it. Good night and bombs away. Play that techno song and get me out of here. Thank you for all your commentators. End the broadcast.